This week in Texas politics was like a Texas twister, fast, furious, and pretty much all over the place. Let's get our headlines now from our panel, and we'll start with business analyst Annie Spillman. Annie, what's your headline for the week?
Bruised and betrayed, Nikki Haley defies Trump juggernaut.
Brian Smith with St. Edward's University. Brian, what's your headline for the week?
Paxton's decapitation strategy goes to the polls on Tuesday as he tries to remove the head of the Texas House.
And Brad Johnson with the Texan News. Brad, what's your headline for the week?
With early voting right around the corner, we've entered the primaries home stretch.
Well, the Texas GOP primary certainly is heating up this week, especially for Speaker Dade Phelan. The Speaker this week launched a new campaign ad going after his GOP challenger, who's backed by Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. Thursday night, former Governor Rick Perry joined the Speaker at a big rally, and they threw some hard punches. Brad, did any of those punches land?
Certainly possible, and it seems like it's a strategy that he has to take, and going negative is not really something you do if you're up comfortably. So, I think this race comes down to whether or not the speaker gets pushed to a runoff. I have heard about some polling that shows Covey up, but that's kind of hard to believe just given the broader circumstances. Really, I think it comes down to whether the speaker can eclipse 50%.
The Texas Association of Business has endorsed the Speaker. Annie, what are you hearing from your business contacts?
Right. Well, the Texas Association of Business has endorsed the speaker, as has the National Federation of Independent Business. That's the Small Business Association. They've endorsed him. I'm hearing from sources that more business and industry groups will release their endorsements soon for him. As far as the business community is concerned, I believe that they are endorsing him because they think he's been a fair leader of the House. And major legislation passed the House during his leadership, including the Regulatory Consistency Act, that really reels in some of these Texas cities that have tried to overstep their bounds in regulating Texas businesses. You see in these campaigns some of the big endorsement releases toward the end, and I think that's what we're going to see when it comes to these business endorsements.
Now, while Speaker Phelan is getting double teamed by the Lieutenant Governor and Attorney General Ken Paxton, the state GOP Executive Committee kicked off the week by voting to censor the Speaker, while at the same time they responded to criticism from the Speaker, backing down, backing track, approving a resolution to not associate with anti-Semites and Nazi sympathizers. Brian, is that a win for the Speaker right there, at least?
Well, smart politicians run away from anything even remotely sympathetic to Nazism. The Texas GOP should have known better in the first place, and Phelan's holding them accountable for something they should already know. When it comes to the censure, the people who agree with the censure were unlikely to support Phelan anyway, and independents and rank-and-file Republicans are unlikely to follow the actions of the state GOP, which tends to be more right than the party itself in the electorate.
Governor Greg Abbott is back on the border, saying that he's beefing up Operation Lone Star. Meanwhile, in Congress, the House impeached the head of Homeland Security, with Texas Congressman McCall and Pfluger picked as impeachment managers for the Senate trial. Annie, how are business owners reacting to all this political theater?
Listen, small business owners especially react when anything is going to impact the economic certainty. Recent economic trends have shown that small business owners are still very pessimistic about the future and their sales. Anything that's going to create uncertainty in the economy, politics, inflation, labor shortages, homeland security, supply chain issues, this is going to cripple businesses and their certainty for growth, for hiring. So any changes that are going to happen at the top are going to have a trickle down effect on businesses and the economy, good or bad. And so they're paying attention to things like this.
The buzz that I've heard from a few conservative pundits is that the Democrats are trying to flip the border narrative to the left. Brad, voters can sure do have a short-term memory sometimes. Or do you think this political theater is going to run all the way into November?
Oh, it's definitely going to run all the way into November. We've seen its potency in the GOP primary, usurping the impeachment and school choice as the top issue, and that's just among Republicans. Wait until it's Republicans against Democrats, and the Biden administration continues its actions on the border or lack thereof, Republicans would point out this is not going away at all.
Brian, you agree the political theater continues to run?
Oh, yeah. The Democrats know they're losing the border issue and it's pushing their potential winning issues aside. So it's not they're moving to the left, but they're trying to find that third way, pushing for bipartisanship, blaming Trump, and trying to hold the House Republicans accountable for the policy stalemate. They know that the left issues aren't popular on the border, meaning the hardcore Democratic issues aren't popular. So they're kind of triangulating.
Nikki Haley brought her presidential campaign to Texas this week, starting in Dallas Thursday, and then Friday a trip to San Antonio. You know, it seems like every time that it seems like it's over for Haley, Trump puts his foot in his mouth again and refuels her campaign bus. Brian, this Texas swing, this is really about fundraising, hitting that ATM, right?
This is about getting that Texas money, and she needs that to survive. She has to have her campaign last until Super Tuesday. And if she does poorly there, the delegate math's against her. The calls for her to drop out will intensify, and her campaign would be effectively done. Where does she go? She comes to Texas. We have the money.
Some big Texas billionaires, business tycoons, hosted Haley in Dallas, including a familiar name, Perot, as in Ross Perot Jr. Annie, are you seeing some movement for her with the small business community?
Yes, actually, she's a small business owner and she's always kind of played the role as the underdog. So small business owners relate to that. They sympathize with that. In Iowa, she had the support there from the small business community. It's her target audience for sure. And so I think, she's trying to ride that wave.
Certainly she's trailing to the polls, but it kind of looks like that she's being set aside maybe as a wild card in case things really do go sideways for the Trump camp, legal problems with him. Brad, is that your read?
Yeah, at least partially. I also think it's part of the broader factional war in the Republican Party. The more establishment anti-Trump wing doesn't want to give up the fight, and Nikki Haley is their last-ditch effort to do that, as Brian said.
Attorney General Ken Paxton had a securities trial pretrial hearing in Houston on Friday. His lawyers asked the judge to toss the case, but the judge said, no, we're going to keep on going, and there's going to be a trial most likely in April. Brian, Paxton could still cut a plea deal and maybe escape, right?
Yeah, he's going to try everything. And one of the things that's funny is he didn't get a speedy trial because his defense team stonewalled to prevent that trial. So everything's on the table for him. And we're back to a question of for the trial, not when, but if.
Anything surprise you about this, Annie?
No, I think it's what we expected. So, it's just kind of delay, and we'll see what happens in April.
Snowball's chance that we'll ever get to trial there, Brad?
It's looking like it's a lot better chance than a snowball's chance. But the tactics will always be deployed, and it's been going on for 8 years now. So who knows?
Now, another story that we're tracking and we'll be watching that happened this week is the federal court hearing in Austin on SB 4, the new Texas immigration enforcement law that starts in March. Most expect a judge to issue a temporary injunction, a reversal at the appeals court. Guys, do you think that this goes all the way to Supreme Court? Brian, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a final hearing at the Supreme Court. The lower courts don't seem prepared or willing to settle this issue, which means it's going to go up to the top.
Brad, all the way to the top?
Yeah, that's the goal for Republicans in the state. They want the ability to challenge the precedent of U.S. v. Arizona, and they think they have it in this case.
Is that is that the best thing, or should we just is the best thing just to stop and maybe get a deal, Annie?
No, actually, I think this is par for the course these days with any sort of contentious legislation that goes to the Texas legislature. The people that write this legislation write it with that in mind, for it to possibly go to an upper court. They're experts at this, and they want that precedent set. And they know that they have a friendly court in the upper court. And so in my experience, they want that ruling, and they want it from the upper court.
All right, let's wrap up this week with just one word, and we'll start with Annie. What's your word for the week?
Mayhem.
Brad, your word.
Stretch.
And Brian, your word.
Primaries.
And that is This Week in Texas Politics.